I just published my flight vlog for Singapore Airlines first class flying from Singapore to Shanghai Pudong, and that was in May 2024 to document my very first premium class cabin travel. First of all, I want to be clear that it is on the Boeing 777-300ER first class and not on the Airbus A380 suites. I was also flying in April, which was great weather in China and just before the May long holidays. But regardless of how good it sounds, it's still going to cost you $6,365.20 for a one-way first-class flight from Singapore to Shanghai. And this is just for a 5.5 hours flight, So if you just divide it by the hour, $6,365 divided by 5.5, you'll get around $1,157 per hourly rate. I mean, how many people can earn $1,157 per hour? Even like you are in a C-suite executive. I know I for sure don't, which is why many people think that it is really crazy to spend this amount of money on a first class flight. Myself included, it really doesn't make any financial sense unless you're already a multi-millionaire or your company is paying for it. So how can I really afford to fly first class? Of course, there's going to be some strategies, and that involves multiple credit cards as well. So if you really want to learn of these real tricks, you come and join us at over 15,000 members for free in the Honey Money SG Telegram group. So to give a bit of context, right, from Singapore to Shanghai, there's going to be two first class flight segments. One is SQ826 and one is SQ830. So SQ826 is the midnight flight which flies from Singapore to Pudong on Airbus A380. The SQ830 is the morning flight that flies with the Boeing 777. How do I afford my first class flight? Of course, I don't use cash to pay because I'm a miles chaser as well. So if you just look at the redemption award chart, you will just need 58,500 miles for the first saver rate, and you have to add in $65.20 for Singapore Airport taxes. So this is really the true cost of flying Singapore Airlines first class: 58,500 miles and $65.20 in taxes. I know there's going to be a lot of sensational posts online telling you I fly business class for free, I fly first class for free. All this rubbish are just clickbait title only, because you also have to consider opportunity cost. And what exactly is opportunity cost? For example, if you look at 58,500 miles with a 4 mile per dollar card, you will need to spend $14,625. And if you spread this amount over 12 months, you will need to spend at least $1,219 per month. Does that sound much more reasonable compared to your $1,100 over per hourly rate? But now let's talk about the opportunity cost. If you look at $14,625, if I were to spend this full amount on a 5% cashback credit card, the real cashback you're going to get is 5% multiplied by $14,625, which gives you $731. And if you were to combine the total cost with the taxes, that will be $731 plus $65, which will give you $796 net. This is the true cost of me flying Singapore Airlines on the cash value. But if you compare $796 using the miles value versus $6,000 over with the cash value of buying it outright, it's a very big difference, right? You're just paying like 12.5% with the 87.5% savings for redeeming your miles. Also, for the case when you're taking a premium class flight, your holiday does not start at your destinations after clearing the customs at your destination airport. Your holiday starts from the moment you check in at the first class lounge or the business class lounge. So some people view airplanes as just a mode of transport, which is why they only take economy and budget airlines. And that is not wrong at all. But just that if you want to enjoy finer things in life, you want to add your life experience points as memory dividends, right? Then you can consider to work on this premium class cabin so you can at least experience once, then you think it is good for you or not. Anyway, for Singapore Airlines, you can book as early as 355 days before your departure date. So as of the current recording date, it is still available from Shanghai to Pudong on A380 suites. Which brings me back to the question, why did I not fly Singapore Airlines suites? Instead, I flew first class. I think I need to share this story, but let me first introduce the sponsor. If you're looking for a stable and long-term source of passive income, then consider US Treasury to lock in the high yield to maturity or YTM. But wait, what exactly is US Treasury? US Treasuries are low-risk investment instruments that allow you to lock in regular coupon payments and are backed by the US federal government. As of the recording date, the YTM is up to 5%. Why you should consider US Treasury is because you may have heard that the US Federal Reserve may start cutting interest rates, and historical data shows that when the Fed announces a rate cut, the coupon rate of newly issued Treasury bond usually decreases, which means existing bonds with higher coupon rates become more attractive, driving up the bond price, so you may earn some capital gains from it. For new users, Moomoo SG is currently offering 6.8% per annum guaranteed return on their Moomoo Cash Plus promotion for 30 days. And if you manage to hit the maximum subscription of $80,000, you will be getting a total return of approximately 447 Singapore dollars. But as a disclaimer, please note that Moomoo Cash Plus is an investment product. This is not comparable and is different from savings deposits. Principal is not guaranteed, and up to 30 days of the 6.8% per annum is guaranteed only during the promotional period. On top of that, you will be able to unlock up to 4 stock bundles of the top 5 traded US stocks worth 70 Singapore dollars each and an Apple share worth around 243 Singapore dollars. Sign up with my exclusive link for a bonus 20 Singapore dollars cash coupon. There's a total rewards value of 990 Singapore dollars. Holding period and buy trade applies. Investment in any capital market products involves risk and a risk to lose capital. For more details of the promotion, please refer to the link landing page in the description below. So wait no more and use my exclusive link down below or scan the QR code right here to get your Moomoo SG Universal account today. So last year in May 2023, I booked the original SQ830, which was already flying on A380 suites. Because if you look at my ticket right here, it exactly says Suite Saver and it's flying on the morning flight SQ830 9:30. So very excited, right? Finally can get my hand on the suites and at a good rate some more. In August 2023, there's a change of plans because SQ826 will now be using the Airbus A380 suites, and Singapore Airlines informed me through an email. Therefore, my current flight SQ830 will be changed to the Boeing 777, which means no suites, only got first class. So they gave me an option to choose. I opted to switch to SQ826 because I really wanted to experience suites, especially for the honeymoon period. So I don't mind the midnight flight, I just want to take the Airbus A380, so I switched to the midnight flight. So this is quite bad news already, right? From the morning flight, you change to the midnight flight, your sleep pattern all disrupted, and then midnight you maybe never taste everything because you are just sleeping. But this is not the worst news yet, because come to December 2023, this is where the all hell broke loose. Flight SQ826 was switched to the Airbus A350, which means no more suites or even first class. So the best class was only business. Then the other flight, SQ830, was still using the Boeing 777 with first class seat. So I was thinking to myself like so hard to secure the first class seat already, just go with the Boeing 777 at least try one time first. Therefore, my final decision was to switch to the Boeing 777 SQ830 first class without the suites. And of course, I'm not the only one affected because I was reading some blog posts about Singapore Airlines changing all their flight planes towards Shanghai. So effectively, I kind of got downgraded from suites, which is a much larger private space, to now a first class seat, even though they cost the same number of miles at 58,500, but I still went off with it. Overall, did I still enjoy the first class experience? Of course, because I've never tasted such premium cabin services and also the on-ground lounge services at all. So it was still a pretty good experience for me, especially it was honeymoon period, so I just want to try everything out and have some memory dividends. But would I have preferred the suites on Airbus A380? It's a definitely yes. I would have been much happier. But okay I have to count my blessings. At least I got to experience it, and I think it was worth all the miles that I've accumulated over the years. And since it's only the first time, there's going to be a next time. Suites can always come later. So if you're still on your way to accumulating miles and you want to see how it's like to be in the first class, both in the airport before your flight and on the flight, then I'll recommend you to watch my recent video where I spent 20 hours in Changi Airport in the first class experience.